And I'll just start by reciting this poem that I picked up at a retreat years ago. Loving kindness, love that connects, is an antidote to all forms of aversion. It is never attachment. If it slides into sentimentality, compassion brings the heart back into balance. Compassion, love that responds, is an antidote to cruelty. It is never pity. If it slides into sorrow, joy brings the heart back into balance. Appreciative joy, love that celebrates, is an antidote to envy. It is never competitive. If it slides into agitated excitement, equanimity brings the heart back into balance. Equanimity, love that allows, is an antidote to partiality. It is never indifferent. If it slides into disconnection, loving kindness brings the heart back into balance. And since our focus today is loving kindness, one more time. Loving kindness, love that connects, is an antidote to all forms of aversion. It is never attachment. If it slides into sentimentality, compassion brings the heart back into balance. Love that connects. As Ike was reporting to us in the opening moments about the message from the Dalai Lama with respect to loving kindness, about how it connects us. It connects us to ourselves, to our loved ones, to our neighbors, and essentially to every aspect of our lives, whether we think of it as animate or inanimate, connecting to the whole world, connecting to the whole cosmos. It's an antidote for aversion, anger, hatred. Means those are the opposites of connecting, of loving kindness. And when we practice loving kindness, then our inclination for aversion and anger and hatred diminish. They become less significant. We become more aware when those emotions arise in any moment, and we're able to allow them and let them go and not be caught up and controlled by them. We want to avoid attachment. Once we engage in attachment with that which we love, then we have lost our connection in a meaningful way. We are at the mercy of whatever it is that we're attached to is how it's behaving. Remember the example of the childhood game Snap the Whip, how we get attached, and we're at the end of the line, we just get jerked around relentlessly. And the near enemy, I love this concept in mindfulness of the near enemy. The idea of a near enemy is it is something that masquerades as what we are pointing toward. It can be an illusion for it, and yet it takes us away. And the near enemy of loving kindness is conditional love. So when we engage in loving kindness, it opens our hearts. It avoids our shutting down. We might think of loving kindness as like the love of a child, the love we hold for our children, especially for a newborn. In those moments with a newborn, this loving kindness arises out of how we as humans have evolved to nurture our young, especially when they're helpless. We feel that deep, deep connection without any conditions. So just taking a moment and reflecting on what it is like to be in that place. For those of us who have had children, and for Perhaps if you haven't had children, you've been close to a child at some time, or in some other experience where you felt unconditional love, where it didn't matter what happened. You felt this deep connection, this deep love with another being. Just bring one of those experiences to mind and allow yourself to rest in it. Noticing how this shows up in the body, how this feels to be in this place of unconditional connecting. I want to spend a few more moments talking about conditional love. This is when we set connections on how, or set conditions on how I will connect with you. I will love you if you fix me dinner every evening. I will love you if you will do this or you won't do that. I will love you if you behave, if you take good care of me, if you don't annoy me. It's so easy to be in this place of setting conditions on love. I took the time to look up these various statements about the golden rule, which is about loving kindness and how we connect. And here's what's really striking about them. For instance, in Christianity, in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. It doesn't say do to others who love you. It doesn't say do to others who take good care of you. It just says do to others. There are no conditions. In Buddhism, treat not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. Others, no conditions, no modifiers. Confucianism, one word that sums up the basis of all good conduct: loving kindness. Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. Again, no conditions on the others. Judaism, what is hateful to you, you do not do to your neighbor. No conditions on the neighbors. And it's the same in Hinduism. Islam says, not one of you truly believes until you wish for others what you wish for yourself. Again, no conditions on the others. This is what Ike was describing to us about what the Dalai Lama was saying in the talk that he watched last night. So how do we fall into this place of placing conditions on how we connect with others, placing conditions on our willingness to offer loving kindness? You'll recall that among these 5 characteristics of our enoughness are avoid that which is harmful and approach that which is beneficial. When we are not discerning about the difference between those two, when we're not discerning in our ability to realize which of these is arising, they get conflated. So when we default to instinct and habit, then aspects of avoid, which is so powerful, aspects of avoid subvert or overwhelm the connecting, belonging, and loving kindness aspects of approach. Almost always, when we fall into instinct and habit, it's fear-driven. There's some fear that's in there. Some fear that I will extend my love to you and you won't love me back, and I will be hurt. Some fear that you will go away. Some fear that you will mistreat me. And of course we want to protect ourselves. There's no suggestion here that we eliminate avoiding. The opportunity is to find that deeper ground of connecting without putting conditions on it. Without being in this place of being consumed by fear. The question is, what is it in any given relationship that we do fear? So just take a moment and choose a relationship in which you have been vulnerable to putting conditions on it. And ask yourself, what fear is underneath these conditions that I set? Becoming aware of that fear is the first step in defanging it, in taking away its power, in giving us some space. One of the ways that we can better understand how our fears arise is with our understanding of the 4 conditions of being human that are beyond our control. How we have evolved over time, our genetic composition, our experiences when we're young, social and cultural norms. All of these ingredients contribute to our inclination, to the instincts and habits. They're the habits. The instinct comes from the first condition. The other 3 are more about habit. Or maybe the instinct comes from the first 2 conditions, and the others come from habit. So understanding that puts us in a place of being more aware, more open. We're less inclined to be judgmental. We're more able to forgive. Let's do a little practice around this. So taking a couple of deep breaths and letting go of whatever extra energy has arisen out of all of this cognitive processing. And softening. Allowing yourself to feel just a bit of loving kindness that softens. And noticing your breathing for a few moments. Breathing is a fully embodied experience. And now bringing to mind someone close to you. And recalling a recent experience when that person irritated you. Said something, did something, didn't do something. Irritated you in some way. Noticing the thoughts and emotions and sensations that are arising as you recall this experience of a person irritating you. It happens to all of us all the time. allowing those feelings of irritation to be present. And since this person is somebody who's close to you, you might reflect for a few moments on how the 4 conditions beyond our control show up in this person. How those 4 conditions are likely to have played a major role in what this person did to irritate you. And perhaps understanding how the 4 conditions are affecting this person, that gives you some understanding of what was going on. And perhaps this understanding gives you some access to your own empathy. And allowing your empathy to unfold into loving kindness. Love that connects is an antidote for aversion. And even if there's just a glimpse of a sense of loving kindness here, that's all you need. And noticing what's going on in your body as you're having this experience of loving kindness. Noticing perhaps that loving kindness offers a little more space, a little sense of connecting. And from this foundation of loving kindness, perhaps you can think of some various alternatives of how you might deal with what irritated you. Loving kindness does not suggest that we just let everything go. It simply offers us a different experience, a different field, a different ground, a different foundation from which we go forward and navigate the ups and downs of life. Noticing how many more options there are when we feel this loving kindness, this sense of connectedness, as opposed to the constricted experience of aversion.